This video is brought to you by Titan Mattress. Now, I'll be the first to say that I didn't know that getting mattresses delivered to your door was a thing. Maybe I'm woefully out of touch. I figured getting a mattress was always something I needed to go to a dedicated store to get, which meant also making sure I had a car or truck on standby to make sure I could fit the mattress in and all that jazz. That's not very fun. But then I learned of Titan Mattress. Now, they specialize in making mattresses for big folks like me, and I am a pretty big dude. And it's important that my bed is something that not only supports my size, but I also need something that supports my back. Since with my family's medical history, I tend to throw it out when I'm not careful enough. And with Titan Mattress's factory being in Arizona, shipping within the US was completely free. It also comes with a 120-night sleep trial to make sure it's right for you, a 10-year warranty, and they're developed by master craftsmen who've been building mattresses for over 25 years. Yeah, of course I'm gonna take advantage of that. I've been meaning to replace my previous mattress for a while and it was starting to sink like quicksand. I ended up choosing a king-size Titan Plus Luxe, offering a universally medium feel that ain't too soft but ain't a plank of wood either, you know? Now, I personally don't need all this space, but I do have to share with my partner, but make no mistake, I will spread eagle when given the chance. Titan mattresses offer the lift and durability I need for a great night's sleep, supplying both comfort and support without compromising either. They also benefit from Glaciotech cooling technology. The tech fibers within remove excess heat from your sleep and keep the temperature nice and cool throughout the night. Not to mention, there ain't no fiberglass in it either, and until recently, I didn't know that was a thing. Who the heck puts fiberglass in a mattress? Did you know that, Diego? Nah, of course you didn't know that. I'm gonna need you to get out the mattress though, I'm not doing B-roll yet. Unboxing this baby was pretty neat, and the vacuum sealed wrapping made this baby so small and compressed that it was a cinch to get it upstairs. I tell you, I don't miss having to drag a big mattress up a flight of stairs, especially if it has a 90-degree turn on it. But just a heads up, make sure you got ample space when removing the plastic seal because, watching the mattress inflate to its proper size after releasing the seal was cool and all, it was like a magic trick. But that's still a king-size mattress unfolding in front of your eyes, so give it a wide berth. And there we go. What a beaut. My back will thank me for this in the long run. Time for some shut-eye. I love my Titan mattress, and I think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out titanmattress.com/somecallmejohnny. You can click the link below and get 30% off your entire order with the code SomeCallMeJohnny. That's 30% off your entire order with code SomeCallMeJohnny. Sweet dreams, everybody. Now get out of my house. Despite hosting live streams for the Sonic Hacking Contest for well over a decade at this point, I kind of forget that the games that I showcase continue to exist outside of that bubble, and after some time, they become full-fledged games. Such is the case with this doohickey for today, Hellfire Saga. Yeah, it's just called Hellfire Saga. You won't find Sonic in the title anywhere. I just put it on the video title because you guys probably wouldn't click on it otherwise. Am I wrong? This was something I guess you can say I've been playtesting since 2019, I want to say. And, putting Sonic in a gothic horror setting akin to Castlevania or Ghosts and Goblins in a day and age where we have spooky things like Sonic EXE infesting my YouTube recommendations like a plague, it's easy to dismiss something like this as silly and cringe, but I remember liking it to a point where I would genuinely look forward to it in the next year's hacking contest and so on and so forth. And wouldn't you know it, after it cooked long enough, it ended up taking the trophy for best entry in the 2022 Sonic Hacking Contest. And I know I'm a little late in saying this, but to all those that helped contribute to this, and Red Miso Studios, all those folks I saw in the credits, my congratulations to you all. You made something that the hacking community really liked. But despite the game being completed early last year, I haven't gone back to it since 2022. So today, I'm going to play the whole thing and see what I've been missing out on. Just as a heads up though, I'm putting a humongous epilepsy warning now because my dumbass recorded the game with the flashing lights intact. Man, a lot of games back in the day would just flash the screen white to emphasize explosions and points of impact, and a part of me still likes that, if I'm being completely honest here, but I'm also a dude that wears these thick-ass glasses at the age of 37, so who am I to say what's good for your eyes or not? The game thankfully gives you the option to turn it off, so you can still play the game even if you're photosensitive. But alright, let's load this baby into the emulator and see what's in store for the poor hedgehog in Hellfire Saga. First off, I love how the first thing we see is a disclaimer that despite the game having fun with satanic themes, it has nothing to do with Sonic EXE. They were probably like, look, we want nothing to do with this edgy fuck. We just like Castlevania, okay? Alright, so the game begins in the Forest of Decay, and off the bat, I like the custom sprite job here for Sonic. They muted his color palette just a bit to fit the gloomier vibe, but he's still the most prominent thing on the screen, which should be like basic Sonic design 101. Control is pretty much just classic Sonic, as well as the camera behaving like in Sonic CD. You build up enough speed and it shifts to the right to give you more of a heads up, which if you ask me, I think should just be standard in any 2D Sonic game. The spin dash is here, but there's no super peel out or the drop dash. It's primarily a Sonic 3 hack at the end of the day, but that also means Sonic has the Insta Shield, and if there's one thing I'll say right now, learn how to abuse those invincibility frames whenever you use it. In Sonic 3, that's how you could cheese everything, but in this game, especially for some boss fights, it's damn essential. To make things a little more interesting, Sonic has a health bar in this. Get hit too many times and, oh Jesus, you explode like a Mortal Kombat character. While this doesn't really change anything in stage progression, there's plenty of rings to grab and monitors are everywhere. It does mean you have to play it carefully with boss encounters since you can't recover health like you could ordinarily with rings. You still have access to shields at least, they're not as free as you probably like, but you have all the elemental shields accounted for here, the electric shield once again acting as king, and you even have the regular shield that takes this polygonal shape because, well, I think the devs just wanted to show off. I wouldn't call this game overly hard. You know, if you're playing this on emulator, you can always abuse save states if you find yourself struggling, and you can lower the difficulty in the options menu. But this game does kinda ask more from you than your typical Sonic adventure, fan game or otherwise. Anyway, Sonic has no idea how he got here, and to make it worse, his friends have gone missing, but he's got no time to ponder when he's in parts unknown with undead dogs, small-ass birds, and members of the KKK haunting his ass like a bad faith discussion on an old Sonic message board. Pretty soon he's greeted by this guy here named Gloam, who despite looking like a menace, comes off more like an anxious security guard that really wants Sonic from proceeding any further. Very strange encounter too, definitely the most random of the lot. He can transform into Princess Prin Prin that's on fire, there's whoever the hell this dude is, and then he can change into fucking Mickey Mouse. I know people make the argument that Disney's got that devil juice in them, but why not just make it Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen head? He's pretty intense, but he's down for the count with just a little effort. But Sonic's struggles are only beginning as the Grim Reaper himself shows up to let Sonic travel further down the road because, well, he wants to toy with the hedgehog, much to the chagrin of Gloam, who probably doesn't want to lose his job. Next up is Sin City, no relation to the Frank Miller comic probably, but I don't know, I think Elijah Wood could have made a good boss fight. This place is like a combination of Chemical Plant and Hydro City, but if the water was that, that trademark hyper-realistic blood, I think that's what it's supposed to be. It actively hurts Sonic too, so if you mess up and miss the floating platforms here, your ass is toast. Good God, why does he explode underwater from drowning? That's not drowning, that's decompression. Also, what the fuck? Why are Tikal and Rouge succubus in this? Okay, well, Rouge, I can kind of get the idea, but what the fuck did Tikal do to get this shitty job? Honey being the leader of them makes sense though. 10 out of 10, no notes. I found the level design a little confusing here at times, which is unfortunately something I found myself critiquing some aspect of throughout the game. Nothing too clumsy, it's just, the Forest of Decay, those fucking birds are next to impossible to see with the dark graphics and Sonic's high speed. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's an object I can interact with. Can I jump on this? Nope, that's a background object. What the fuck? Who the fuck is that supposed to be? Did it die looking for the exit? It's just here to the left, dude. Did they even try? Are they stupid? Sin City occasionally has these decorative foreground elements that I keep thinking are oncoming hazards, making me involuntarily jump. Again, it's not that big of a deal, it's just, foreground elements in classic Sonic are tricky to pull off without coming off as distracting, and it didn't feel like an intentional obstacle. It was around this time that I actively started to ignore enemies because most at this point take more than one hit to kill, and hitting them at all has some recoil to it, disrupting the pace. But there's really nothing to gain from destroying them, so I'm gonna assume I'm supposed to pick and choose my fights, insta-shield or not. Gonna be honest though, I have no idea who the hell this is supposed to be. Now, I've played a lot of games in my time, but I haven't played everything in the world, goddammit. But again, good use of the insta-shield, and it's down like a chump. Oh Jesus Christ, the red armor in a Sonic game, what the shit? Good God, look at all these trailing fire sprays and the lag it's causing, and to make it more confusing, they're completely harmless. The only thing that can actually hurt you is the fireball. Which I'm glad to know is just, a little visually confusing. Oh dude, come on, I had the flame shield. That should make me immune to fire. What, it doesn't work on Hellfire? Is that what it is? It's bullshit. Hell sucks. At the end of Sin City awaits death though, and this dude is without a doubt the biggest pain in the ass. The first form isn't terribly difficult, follows a strict, predictable pattern, but you have little real estate to dodge some of the more annoying attacks, and his hitbox feels a little disjointed when he swings that scythe, and he bounces and spins more than Sonic does. But you manage to beat him, but then he retreats to prep his second form, Sonic giving chase like the hero who's, oh fuck, shit, my bad. It's classic Sonic the Hedgehog, can't stop on a dime like in Sonic 4. This is the hardest fight right here if you ask me. Again, he follows a strict pattern, but you have so little room to work with, and Sonic's natural controls are loose by default. Sonic ain't no Belmont or Arthur, so it's easy to overshoot jumps and fall like a dope. Shit, sometimes it's easier just to drift slightly right or left to avoid the lethal SpaghettiOs. What a cool looking fight though, like legit the production values of this game are top notch, with cool visual effects splattered throughout, and it has a bitching soundtrack that's full of remixes from Castlevania, ActRaiser, and Doom to name a few games, that all take advantage of the Genesis sound capabilities. The boss themes are just the most delicious things to my ears. Alright, that took some time, but death is D-E-D, dead. But there's still one more set of stages to go, Malicious Glance, and everything's out to kill Sonic here. Axe armors, undead archers, and spiked balls that I wish were easier to see, but what can you do? It's got some gnarly lava chase sequences too, and they tempt you with these item boxes to get you to stop and smell the roses, and I'm not saying I fell for it, not a chance in hell, nope. Stop. The level itself isn't that bad though, it's the mini bosses that gave me the most shit. The timing on hitting this dude while avoiding his rocket fist is super straight. Like, I recognize the dude from Castlevania Bloodlines, but my god, you have frames to simultaneously avoid the fist and get a hit in, otherwise he's invincible. At least I think he is. I tried to cheese him, but it didn't work. I did manage to cheese this guy though. Yeah, look at that, I may be stuck in hell, but you gotta look for that silver lining when you can. Oh my god, it's Shaft. I mean, of course Shaft is here. What's he doing? Oh, he's transforming into another Ghouls and Ghosts callback. Stop that! I don't like to be reminded of my trauma. What's next? Anti-gravity in the next stage? Son of a bitch! Oh, fuck. Come on, I was joking. Go away, I hate this shit. Well, at least it can't get any worse, right? No fucking way. Moldor? What? What's the core thing? Oh, this stage was designed to fuck with me specifically, wasn't it? Who did I piss off? Satan? Tails doll? Nah, it was probably Satan. Well, anyway, we deal with Shaft directly at the end of this ride from hell, and I like the Mecha Sonic callback, basically just a more aggressive version of his final fight with Knuckles in Sonic 3. But then you fight Shaft almost exactly like you did in Castlevania Rondo of Blood. It definitely hits different when you're playing as Sonic though. Damn physics. At last, though, we've reached the end. Yeah, the game isn't terribly long. 3 major zones with 3 acts apiece, but the third act is usually just a boss fight. And the final zone is just a climactic encounter with the big cheese of the game, Eggman, who made a deal with the devil to gain power and capture Sonic's friends. Missed opportunity, though. Eggman getting powers from the devil? His name should have been Deviled Eggman. It was right there, guys. Pretty sick design though. I know we lose it as soon as he goes inside the mech, but yeah, I gotta compliment it when I see it. But then he gets into that large snake mech that reminds me of that robot from Sonic Rush, the one that likes to headbang and pretend it's an effective attack. Not too hard, but then you defeat this, and the final phase is whatever the hell this is supposed to be. And you know, this Eggman design is over the top as fuck, but this boss arena is damn sick. And it's all within the confines of the Sega Genesis. These guys really know how to work with the hardware. He's not a terribly hard final boss either. You may not like the sudden control shift, but to me it plays like a space shooter, almost something like Doomsday Zone 2. The rocks are easy to avoid, as are the hands, and the missiles don't take much effort to dodge, and the claw swipes are clearly telegraphed. The biggest enemy is going to be your nerves, since you go into this phase immediately after the snake mech with no breaks in between. And there's no optional supersonic fight in this either, since the game doesn't have any Chaos Emeralds or special stages. But with the well-placed spin dash, Sonic beats the hell out of Eggman, with Sonic managing to rescue his friend. We rescued Tails. Game said Sonic's friends were captured, friends, plural, and I only see one here. Are there multiple endings, or is the game fucking with me? As for Eggman, well, he doesn't die, the end screen confirms that, but he gets ejected out of hell because Satan finds him a disappointing, pathetic loser. Which, holy shit, man, when the devil's calling you that, where do you go from there? Whatever the case, that's for future Sonic 2. They'll probably deal with later. It's short and a little difficult, but damn, this is a great fan game that's not only incredibly ridiculous with its setup, but it's so damn technically impressive that I'm just in constant awe that folks made this hack for free, just because they could. And it could run off genuine hardware too. You get yourself a flash cart and a Sega Genesis, and you can go really old school with this one. But if not, it's just a simple Google search away. Kudos to the team behind the scenes for making this. This gets a high recommendation for me as both a Sonic and Castlevania fan. Yeah, I know it's also part Ghosts and Goblins, but I don't like Ghosts and Goblins, so it doesn't count. I'll tell you what though, playing this game in October, all the Castlevania callbacks, really puts you in a Castlevania mood. You know, I think I got time for one other video before I have to start worrying about Sonic X Shadow Generations, which will be out before you know it. I gotta make the Final Fantasy IX video, but you know, we can make another Halloween video before the month ends. So we're gonna go back to Castlevania, and I know some of you, oh my god, I think he's gonna review Circle of the Moon and Aria of Sorrow, Harmony of Dissonance, the DS games, but technically, the handheld Castlevania adventures began on the Game Boy, so that's where we're going to start off first. So I think we have Castlevania The Adventure, and there's Belmont's Revenge, and then Castlevania Legends, and I think there's a Kid Dracula spinoff somewhere in there. I'll see if I can do something with that. I don't know. We're going to start there first before we get to the other Metroidvanias, so bear with me. So next up, we're going to look at those handheld Castlevania games all at the same, well, the Game Boy Castlevania games all at the same time. And then afterwards, we can work on the Sonic stuff and you know, Final Fantasy IX. But as always, thank you all for tuning in and watching this. It's kind of like an old school like video. I haven't done something like this in a while. I got the hat on, the gold chain. I'm just missing my hoodie, which I got to get a new one because the other one doesn't fit me anymore. But anyway, thank you as always for tuning in and watching. Let's get some more patron shoutouts done. All right, so shout outs to more of my patrons here. Thank you all for your continued love and support. We got Ronan, MBT, Please Handloop Simo with Gofu Dark Synchro. That sounds like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Salami Tsunami, Atsuneko, Neko Blue, Asir Alurahali, Haley, Katakanata Bro, Nora Thalasinos, Mr. Ultimate, Joey, Fester1124, Sarah Kulik, Super Saiyan Sonic, Jack Foster, Samu, Crossfire 34, Steven, Nathan. That took me off guard because I'm so used to reading like these elaborate names, and here's just Steven and Nathan. Dapper Burger, Mega Amster, Adam Christians, Chris Ravioli, Pix Limbo, Mr. Right 95, Nim Noodle, male branch of the Burning Tunnels, Jason MF Jacobs, Lucas, oh, there's a little bit of a character error here. I'm gonna assume that's Mason Meyer, Alex Scranboys, Orange Bull, the Cat Boy, Cat Bomb, David Ramirez, Katashi, Men Question Mark, Jack Lockram, KDB Games, Wilmer, Captain Katsia, Havoc, Chris Hursteel, Joe1120, JQ, Snow, Bui, Gamer Nicholas, Octo, Frozen, Scarface, Melvin Woods, Brandon W93, Darius Benthone, Kate Ryan, Raptor Tim, Nick Simon, Quinn Evans, Snack HBG, Mailbit 0919, Michael Condria, Brendan Donnelly, Little Cubby Chuck, Full Equinox, Smackdown Beef, Jack UT, True Tactician, Matthew McCleskey, Edie's Corner, Ready or Gramati, Kevin, oh shit, the fucking cat. The camera stopped recording finally for today. We're going to look at what was that? It was that Kevin Ferrara and Mega Gojill. All right, all this and more in the next video. I was not paying attention to the camera feed, how much time I had left. I could only record in 30-minute spurts with this camera, so I guess I just wasn't paying attention. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Take care.